Night Tab Radio, your station of choice. Each weekday morning from 5:30 with the Sports Daily. There is no greater feeling than winning on the punt. And if you fail to prepare, you are prepared to fail. This is the golden hour where knowledge is power. We know life is short. That is why we focus on what really matters. Finding winners. Time is the longest distance between now and start time. The clock is ticking.
All right, about to try and find a couple of winners for a massive Saturday of racing here locally, and then, of course, at Flemington and Randwick, and maybe a couple of extras left, right and centre. But before then, Diggers, tipping races, please, and then let us know who's coming up on the Hour of Power.
Yes, MR8, the Turnbull, there at Flemington, SR8, the Epsom, SR9, the Metrop, and then here at Kalgoorlie, CR7, the Golden Saddle, and CR8, the Kalgoorlie Cup. It is a jam-packed hour of power before 7:30. Clint McDonald, John McArdle, Gary Portelli, and Kris Lees. After 7:30, SJ Miller, Shaun McGruddy, Grant Williams, and Sean Casey.
Looking forward to it, and we'll waste no time. We'll kick it off with Clint McDonald taking a look at his chances at Flemington. Clint, thank you very much for your time and a good morning.
Morning, boys. How are we today?
Going very, very well. We may as well start in the Danehill Stakes. It's race number 6 on the program there. Rosberg, we know what sort of impression he made on debut. How's he done since that win?
Yeah, he's done really well, this horse. He's a lovely colt. He trialled at Flemington on the Thursday, and he just had a nice look around, and we didn't ask much of him, but we're very happy with what we saw, and he pulled up extremely well, and then he had a very nice gallop here on Tuesday in company, and they just don't work much better. So we're going there with our tail up, and we think that, we're hoping that people can see the Rosberg that we see at home, because we think he's a special horse, and obviously he's very lightly raced, and we think with that one start under his belt, he'll step out on Saturday and see the real one.
Clint, good morning. How beneficial is it for these young horses to be exposed to the straight for the first time? And I say that when they do a piece of work and or have a jump out.
Oh, it's everything. Straight's quite a daunting track. As you can imagine, the horses are trained to go around a bend every day of their life. So when you go to straight racing, they see the opening sort of bend where they go from the chute to the course proper, and the horses can lose focus. So he was beautiful down there. Ben said he really enjoyed the gallop. And, I think thank you to the VRC for opening it up, because we sort of said, we've got colts here that could be worth millions of dollars, and it's better for the horse and it's better for the punters to see him go down there and see that they can handle it.
All right, barrier number 2 down the straight. Small field probably means that's not so much of an issue?
Yeah, that's right. It's a quality field of 9. We're drawn barrier 2. We've got Ben Mellum in the saddle who knows the horse extremely well. And, it's a good race. There's a number of stakes winners in the race, and, everyone's going there thinking they've got the right horse to head towards the Coolmore, and this will answer a lot of questions as Turnbull Stakes Day does.
Clint, could you put a percentage on how much he has improved off what we saw at Moonee Valley on debut?
He's improved a hell of a lot. Hard to put a percentage on, but I know his work on Tuesday. Horses just don't work any better. So I said it in the media. I think he does things that Weekend Hustler used to do, and still believe that. And we just need him to prove us right on Saturday, and so I don't end up with egg on my face.
All right, that's Rosberg. That's a pretty strong push there in the Danehill. Currently the favourite at $4.40 with Tab Touch. Can we move on to the Gill Guide, 1,200 metres, Star Patrol, drawn the opposite side of the track, but hopefully by that time of the day, from your perspective, that's the right part of the track. Was very good first up. How has he improved since his first up effort?
He has improved, this horse. He was a long time out of the race course and racing. I thought his run first up was fantastic. I thought he showed plenty of courage, and he's had a wind operation. I reckon probably with 100 to go, he's sort of like, is it going to start to hurt? And then he realised it wasn't hurting him, and he got going again, that horse. So he's come through the race terrific. He worked on his own on Tuesday morning over 1,000, working home 400, and Ben Mellon rode him, was very happy with him. He's come on big time. He'll need to. That's a lot stronger race than the Bobby Lewis. I think a horse like War Machine, he's a terrific horse. He was great through the winter. He's a Stradbroke winner. He's carrying 60 kilos. And then you got like a horse like Nadal, Payline. It's a good little race. So happy with him, and I think he'll look to winner at some stage.
Clint, is the market missing something here with Helix in the final event of the day?
he's going really well, that horse, but he's just drawn a terrible gate for him. He's drawn barrier 11. If he had drawn an inside draw, I would have said he's a terrific each-way chance. But I'll probably end up scratching that horse due to the barrier and saving for another day. I think he's going really well, but I just think the barrier doesn't work for him on Saturday.
Back to the top of the program, race number 1, Acid Wash goes around. Was a winner first up last preparation and heads back to the races first up at pretty big odds.
Yeah, no, he's going well, this horse. He's a decent horse. He won very well. He won on protest with the racing gods last time in, and then he pulled a muscle, so we gave him a break. But he's come back well. I think he can run really well, that horse, but I think whatever he does on Saturday, I think he'll improve, only because he's a bit like Star Patrol. He's been out of the racing scene for a little while and maybe a little bit ring rusty, but getting that race start under his belt will really tighten him up well for his second up run.
Okay, and what are you expecting from Streisand in the Maribyrnong trial?
Streisand, she's a beautiful filly. She's trialled up well. She's only had the 2 jump outs. We've been very soft on her. I feel that we've got her on the way up leading into this race. Obviously, there's 12 sort of first starters. We're all going there thinking we've got a nice 2-year-old. At the end of the day, it'll come down which horse is the best educated and gets everything right on the day. And she's got the right attitude, this filly, to do that. And I feel that she can jump cleanly. She'll land behind the speed and she'll be very strong late.
All right. Can I just ask also, Star Patrol on Saturday, have you looked past Saturday and what the rest of the campaign looks like?
Oh, it's one of those horses that I feel that he's probably a genuine Group 3, Group 2 horse. I haven't even spoken to the owners about this. I was actually thinking about this morning. If he won well here, I've always been keen to get him to 1,400. I've always thought he'd be a terrific 1,400-metre horse. Now that he's had the wind off and he can breathe, I just think he would really control the 1,400-metre race. So maybe that race on Derby Day, 1,400 around Flemington, which suits on-speed horses. There's the 7 furlongs there. I reckon it might be the right race for him if he can run well here on Saturday.
All right, so if our listeners were to have one bet on one of your runners there tomorrow, are we leaning towards Rosberg?
Have all you can on Rosberg.
All right. Bet responsibly, of course, Clint.
Nah, double up.
Good on you, Clint. Best of luck. Thanks for your time this morning, mate.
See you, mate. Bye.
There's Clint McDonald.
He's
all right,
bullish about him, isn't he?
That's as good a push as you're going to get for Rosberg, race 6, number 6.
He is a Spruik colt. There's no question about that. A son of Deep Field, a $750,000 purchase. So if he's to go there and win a Danehill, it's fair to say he's going to find his way to a stud.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Don't talk up the chances too much because we've got John McArdle on the line, and in the Danehill he saddles up McGruddy, an impressive last start winner. John, thank you very much for your time and a good morning.
Yeah, no problems at all, boys.
How are you, John?
Yeah, I'm very well.
Good to hear.
Yeah, all's in good order.
How is my Gladiola, who was a very, very good winner last start?
Yeah, no, she's in great. Come through the run well, probably tightened her up a little bit. She still carries a fair bit of condition, but I think that's just her. Yeah, but she seems to have come through. Her work on Tuesday morning was very good. So now we'll go to the races and see how we go against the Colts.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some nice colts in the race as well. How confident are you heading to the races that My Gladiola's going to be able to measure up and be really competitive?
I think she'll run very competitively. Obviously, we've got to take on the Spruik Colts, but all the times and that she's ran in our other races have been either very similar to or faster than the Colts races on the same day. So sort of that way gives me a bit of a guide. But look, I think she'll run very, very well. It's obviously a very competitive race. Obviously, Clinton's incredibly confident with his colt. Obviously, seen Tentris trial and work down here at Mornington from the Freedmans. It's obviously going very well. Robbie Griffiths' horse is unbeaten. I mean, the Browns horse, he had a great rap on him and has always shown good ability. So, look, we've no illusion that it's it's a soft race. There's some really, really nice horses in it, and even Inkaruna, she was hitting the line strongly behind us last start. But I think my filly's in good order. She's won down the straight, so I'm sure she'll run competitively.
Are you Coolmore bound post tomorrow, provided everything goes according to plan, John?
Tomorrow will tell us whether we go there or not. If she runs well, she'll be heading to the Coolmore.
All right, earlier on in the day, race number 4 on the program, Yum goes around. She's won her last 2 starts. Do you think this filly improves up to 1,600 metres?
I think so. I think the further the better with her. She's a very nice filly. She's a bit untapped. Bit of an awkward drawing barrier 10, but she'll go back anyway. So hopefully there's a bit of speed in the race, and Jamie will be able to just, find a back and just get her to go to sleep. And she does have a very good turn of foot. So I've been looking forward to getting her to Flemington on the big track and seeing how well she can let down. But her work Tuesday morning was lovely and strong. All the data's good. So. Jamie was happy with us, so we're happy going to the races.
John, you talk about her getting further than a mile. She's a 3-year-old. They're only 3 once. Could we see her go around in some group races, i.e. a Group 1 Oaks later this spring?
Well, if she runs well tomorrow, then the obvious plan is to go to the 1,000 Guineas. But yes, the plan is always... to look towards the Oaks. She's a late November foal, so even if she ran in the Oaks, she wouldn't be 3 when she did it. So I am quite mindful of that. And if at any stage she showed us a sign that she was not coping, then she'd be going to the paddock. I think she'll be a better 4-year-old and 5-year-old than what she is now. So we are mindful of that. But if she holds together well enough, then she'll be headed towards an Oaks.
All right, you've got a couple of going around at Matoa as well tomorrow, but of your 4 runners on Saturday, which way would you push our listeners if they were to have one bet?
Well, the 2 at Matoa will probably be scratched from bad barriers, so that sort of narrows us back to a couple.
That's easy.
I think they'll both run really competitively, but if you were to ask me for one, it'd be Yum, purely because the strength of the competition in the Danehill, I think, makes it a tougher race. But I think both will run really well.
All right, beautiful. That's Yum race 4, number 4, currently with Tab Touch. Each way quote as well, $7 and at $2.30. Thank you very much for your time, John, and all the best tomorrow.
No worries. Thank you.
There's John McArdle taking a look at his chances. Yum and then McGruddy. 1,000 Guineas bound for Yum, and then hopefully, I'd say up against it to get to an Oaks with her being born so late in the season?
Yes, you would think so, but John knows her better than you and I, so we'll see how she goes tomorrow, but he's quite bullish that she'll run well. The step to the mile's not going to be any impediment listening to John there, so she's a watch. She's getting, what is it, around $6.50, something like that, Yum?
$7.
$7. Well, there you go. So watch this space. Fascinating, the discussion, read the Danehill, like Jules Vallance, along with some others, are of the view that the current 3-year-old crop, where does it sit? Yet you listen to Clint talk about his colt and really bullish about his talent levels, talks him, in the same breath as a weekend hustler. And McGruddy, really talented filly as well. And Legacy Bound, we know, Tentris. So I think there's still going to be enormous interest in that race tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. At the moment, it looks very even, but if Rosberg comes out and does what Clint McDonald thinks Rosberg's going to do, he might put his hand well and truly up in the sky and put it forward. We'll stay in Flemington just for the moment. Kris Lees does have one going around in the Turnbull. He joins us on the Sports Daily now. Kris, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, guys.
How's Adelaide River going?
Yeah, really happy with him. He found his best form in the Kingston Town a fortnight ago. We were considering the Metropolitan Handicap. Obviously, class-wise, it's a little softer. We come up with 18 early, so we're happy to give him his chance in a Turnbull Stakes, which is a lovely leading traditionally into a Melbourne Cup. So Profiles is a nice setup for him.
Kris, can you just talk us through that decision? You say Metrop, Turnbull. What sways you one way over the other?
Yeah, look, Obviously, the Turnbull Stakes, quality-wise, it's a mini Cox plate. But he had 2 soft runs at 1,400 and a mile. He was good at 2,000 metres. He's a big gross horse. Just whether a testing mile and a half, as much as I still thought he'd have a chance, what that would do to him going forward from a Caulfield Cup perspective. So, a tough mile and a half race 2 weeks out, it just may not have been the right play. So we just withdrawing barrier 18. So we thought we'd go to Melbourne for a Turnbull Stakes. He's got a middle type of gate. He'll run well. He'd, no doubt a few of these proven weight for age performers will be very hard to beat. But if we're expecting to run well and set up nicely for a fortnight.
All right, so how do you get to the Melbourne Cup?
Sorry?
How do you get to the Melbourne Cup? What the runs in between?
Well, we'll get to the Caulfield Cup and then we'll assess which way we go from there.
All right, so with him out of the Metrop, that leaves you with changing of the guard. A last start winner is all in preparation for tomorrow.
Yeah, he's racing really well. He's been running over this trip throughout the preparation with plenty of gaps between his runs. Very bright and well. Obviously, it'll be a lot more pressure tomorrow than what he found where he got that nice loose lead, albeit he's so well rated by James that day. But he'll take up a forward position and he'll appreciate coming down in the weights, and I expect him to run well.
Do you think you'll find the lead?
It's not imperative he leads. He's just he hasn't got a big change of speed, so he'll be in the first 3 or 4, I'd suggest, and it'll come down to just that tempo. But he's got to be running along at a nice sectional throughout, whether that means he's in front or second or third or so be it.
Has he always shown you that he'd be getting to this sort of Group 1 level at this distance range? You've always had that opinion of him?
And probably even over further in time. We're hopeful to get him to a Melbourne Cup, but this does look a nice option for him tomorrow.
Kris, are you committed to running Cloudland from that gate in the final event of the day at Randwick?
Yeah, we are. We were considering our options. He won the Greys race in Melbourne last year, running on this Saturday prior, and that was always our plan, so we're going to stick to the plan. Then he's got a nice gap in. He likes his run spaced. He's 2 out of 3 this preparation, keeping his space, and he'll run tomorrow. He's going to need luck, obviously, from that draw, but it'll set up again for the Greys race, which is on Oakstow.
Oh, beautiful. You take 5 to the races at Doomben as well on Saturday. Is there a winner there?
Yeah, I think Impercent, she'll appreciate the drop in grade. She's going from a stakes race back to a no Metro win. And importantly for her, she's got a soft draw around Doomben. She'll run well.
Beautiful. That's race 2, number 1 there at Doomben on Saturday. All right, can we have a bet on changing in the guard, do you think? Is that the best way to play your team Saturday?
Yeah, I think each way changing the guard's a good bet.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your time, Kris. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
There's Kris Lee taking a look at his team, so that's a good report on chasing in the guard.
Yeah, very.
As he mentioned, did get away with, not a soft lead, but a lead with no pressure last time out at Randwick there in the Tats Club in the lead-up, and that was just under a month ago, so appreciates the spaces between runs.
Exactly. So
gets a top 5 jockey in Australia, Ethan Brown, to jump on board.
He's flying, isn't he, Ethan Brown? He's flying. He's a very popular rider at the moment, and we know that he's linking up again with Jimmy Starr up there for Kieran. And then all roads lead to an Everest in a fortnight's time.
Absolutely exciting. You need to put your best foot forward.
Did you have a thought in the Metrop?
In the Metrop?
Yes.
No. I'll follow Jules Valentin. They're very keen. The Foxcatcher crew on Soul of Spain. Very keen on that form in the Newcastle Cup.
Hard to poke holes in the form of Soul of Spain. And listening to Karen McAvoy during the week, as I said, TC, listened to him on Wednesday. He may be dictated to by that barrier aboard Birdman, but he said would be riding him quite conservatively. He's of the view that he's a better chaser. He felt that he just floated a little bit when he got to the front at his most recent start, when he duly won. That was the Kingston Town. I'll stand corrected there.
Correct.
Yeah. So, look, watch for him to be strong late.
If our listeners did miss the chat with Nick Ashman yesterday, though, his track intel is telling him that probably middle to wide draws aren't going to be much of a disadvantage there tomorrow at Randwick. Probably lanes 1, 2 and 3 might be a little bit inferior. So if you making those runs down the middle of the track in the straight, you might not be that disadvantaged. That might be the way to go. So that probably sets up well for Birdman.
And Nathan Doyle's saying he is of the view that Private Harry would need to run top 3 and show considerable improvement to be worthy of a place in the Everest. But he thinks he's
Tap?
Yulong, isn't he?
Yulong, is he?
Yeah, Yulong, Private Harry. So I think Yulong purchased a fair chunk of him. But so, yeah, Private Harry, it might not be match point, but it's getting very close to that stage, it would seem, there tomorrow. So let's hope that he does put his best foot forward.
Charmstone's heading that way?
Charmstone heading that way for Mulberry Racing. So that's a good addition. She's a good mare. She comes off that win last week. It was a solid effort on an on-speed night at Moonee Valley, as it often can be, but she'd need to elevate again, you would think.
SJ Miller, Shaun McGruddy, Grant Williams and Sean Casey to join us all after 7:30 here on the Sports Daily, Hour of Power.
Make Tab Radio your station of choice. Each weekday morning from 5:30 with the Sports Daily.
All right, update us with the tipping races, Diggers, just once again, please.
Yes, the Group 1 Turnbull, MR8, up there at Sydney, SR8, the Group 1 Epsom, SR9, the Group 1 Metrop. You just heard there from Kris Lees. And here in Western Australia, the big day at Kalgoorlie, CR7, the $1 million Golden Saddle, and CR8, the time-honoured Kalgoorlie Cup.
All right, we heard you with the San Francisco 49ers this morning.
Yes, I am.
Got a little bit of feedback.
Don't care.
Oh, I didn't think you would. I was just mentioning it.
No, I am happy. I am happy to back them straight out. And
Mac Jones, your man?
Yeah, well, Mac Jones. And I'm happy to back them at the line.
All right, $3.10 in the Golden Saddle. Magnificent Andy is the favourite. $5.50. Twain's Angel Yongalass at $6.50. Snowdome at $8.50. Final Siren at $9.50. $12 heading the remainder. Bravo Centurion and Storm Chaser. So we spoke about the race yesterday. You were with Magnificent Andy?
I certainly am. I think he's the best horse in this race. He's proven at weight for age, and he gets the services of Brad. He gets headgear on, and SJ's targeted this race a long way out.
Absolutely. So you go back to last preparation. He ran a cracker first up in the Quokka. He ran second in the Northern Stakes behind West Star. He ran second in the Belmont Sprint behind the Boss Lady. He ran second in the Hyperion behind Western Empire, who on that day put in one of the best performances of the WA racing season.
He was stiff. I think SJ thought he was going to win that race, and I think a lot of people did until Western Empire got him. But the horse is a beauty, and SJ's got a really good handle on him.
We'll welcome him into the Sports Daily this morning. SJ Miller, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, boys.
How are you, S?
Yeah, good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. How is Magnificent Andy ahead of tomorrow's assignment?
Yeah, look, he's pretty spot on. I think he's come through the trials good. I thought he trialled probably better this campaign than last campaign, and he hasn't had a bad day this prep, so I'm really pleased with him.
All right, so are you able to compare him to first up last preparation when he ran such a good race in the Quokka?
Probably similar going into it, I'd say. Probably, if anything, he's, might be a little bit under for this, but I've tried to keep him fresh for the 1200. So he's all good.
S, how much better is he when you do put the headgear on him?
He switches on a heck of a lot. He sort of concentrates a lot more race day, and I think it's just natural race day. He's a pretty competitive horse, so there's no sense in sort of putting it on in the trials, and as I said, I've been pretty pleased with his trials. So,
how much confidence do you take, or is it not so much of an issue, the fact that he's had a spin around Kalgoorlie and spun around effectively?
Look, the trip shouldn't knock him, and the track shouldn't really knock him. He's been there and done that, so it's a good field, and they're going to go pretty hard. If it was a 1400, I'd be very confident with him leading into it.
Right, and if you're able to pick a barrier, I dare say barrier number 4 would have been pretty high on that list.
Yeah, 6 would have been ideal, I thought, but you got to cop it.
You got to cop
You can't
it.
get everything you want, SJ.
Better than 12. Better than 12.
No doubt about that. Your maths is excellent. Now, in all seriousness, what would it mean to win this race? Not only it's a very wealthy race, but for David, who's been a significant supporter of yours, and we know his links to Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, look, both me and David go back a long way, and we've both had a lot of success in the bigger races at Kalgoorlie, and being the first time this race has been on, and I don't know whether both of us are going to be here long enough to last a couple more, but it'd be a great honour. It'd be a real great honour to win a race like this.
What does the campaign look like after Saturday?
Look, he's, he just keeps on coming back, and he'll, go, I don't know, a couple of weight for age races and probably go into the railway. And I'll probably give him a run in that 1800, because it's a weight for age, and there's not very many options to go with him, but I think this campaign I can give him a crack at the 1800. He's, he's an amazing little horse. He sort of comes up better every campaign to me. So,
Now, earlier in the day, you've got more than enough. This time last year, I think he was winning on Hannon's Day. He goes around in a graduation 1760 and is the favourite with Tab Touch. Can he bounce back into the winner's stall?
Yeah, well, his runs have been good in Perth, and he can handle the track and the distance, and it's not a bad field. It's only a small field, but it's a pretty competitive race. But he's pretty spot on going into it, so I'd expect him to be right up there.
Oh, you got barrier number 6.
Yeah, well, he probably needs number 6. He doesn't. I didn't really give a buggeroo with him drawing 6. Brad'll be off the track anyway. He'll be in the middle of the track somewhere along the line.
And he improves on top of the ground too. He's had to deal with those heavy and soft tracks in Perth, but getting to Kalgoorlie on a good track's going to suit him.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. He is better on top of the ground for sure.
Are both horses there yet, S? Are you there, or are they heading up today?
No, they'll be going up in the morning.
Going up in the morning.
I'll be driving them up in the morning, so and get there for the races. So they're all fine at the moment. So long as we have a good trip, I'll be happy.
Excellent. Best of luck. Thanks so much for your time this morning, mate.
Okay, thanks a lot. Catch you guys.
SJ Miller there, of course, Magnificent Andy, the favourite in the Golden Saddle, and that's as good a push as you're probably going to get from SJ. Maybe a small question mark, 1,200 metres, but gee whiz, the form on the board to say the 1,200 metres hasn't really bothered him in the past. And SJ telegraphed it, didn't he, 3-4 months ago? He said, I'll get him there fresh. He'll be there fresh off the back of a couple of trials. We know he'll be strong at the back end of 12. Yep. And he might have to be, because they are going to march in this race. Yep, and SJ wasn't there Hannon's Day, so he'll be nice and fresh as well. Yeah, which is important. Absolutely. All right, Shaun McGruddy's got some nice rides on the program. The first getting underway in race number 5, and Odinaka, who's been in really good form of late. So welcome him into the Sports Daily. Shaun, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
Very well, Shaun. Great to have a chat to you. We might start with the Golden Saddle and the old boy, Red Can Man. Have you been aboard him in track work?
I have, yes. I have. It's going to be some training performance from Wolfie if he can get this horse up to win. Obviously, first time at the races for quite a while. Hasn't had time to have a trial, so fitness is sort of against him, but what I can tell you is he's never felt as good in his action for probably 3 or 4 years, and that's no exaggeration. So probably can't sort of say what he's had done, something to do with a joint in front. It's probably more for the trainer to talk about, but the result is he's never felt as good. So, if we can just sort of lob into a nice position from the barrier, which is a little bit sticky with Twain's Angel drawing down to my inside, and if he can have a soft run, he'll be there for a long way. And we know he's done a heap of high-class racing over a very long time, Shaun. This significant break that he's had, because we haven't seen him since a Gold Rush, that might work in his favour as well. Is that possible? Look, he's a big, strong horse. I'm not sure exactly how many weeks' work he's had. So, look, there's no residual fitness there from that point of view. But, look, I would have liked barrier 1 or 2, just where he could have done no work at all.
Yep.
But, yeah, look, he's like you say, he's raced against better horses than this lot. It's just the time between runs, I guess, is the concern.
Okay, so that is still a good push for Red Cam Man, the 9-year-old who's done, as TC quite rightly mentioned, a power of work and raced at the high level at a very good standard for a long period of time. Now, what about Curramundi, who gets to the Kalgoorlie Cup off the back of a 1400 and also a 1650? So he hits this race tomorrow, third up, 2300, Shaun.
Yeah, look, he's very much in the same boat, isn't he? Third up, like you say, 2300 Kalgoorlie Cup. But what's in his favour is quite the opposite to Red Cam Man. He's got residual fitness there. He was in work for probably 9 months last preparation, and at the back end of that campaign won a Pinjarra Cup. So he's got residual fitness there. Soft barrier helps. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's there for a long way either.
All right, and he likes the 2300. He's had one run for one win at the distance. Back earlier in the day, race number 5, Odinaka, racing in really good form. Drawn barrier number 1. Should get another chance to notch a win on the board, shouldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Look, he's almost in career best form. He's racing with a lot of confidence. Hardly been out of a place this campaign. The only thing is for him, the last sort of 2 preparations, he's shown that he really needs to get his toe in the ground, probably a soft 5 or worse. So obviously won't get that there tomorrow, but barrier 1 and a horse in confidence, he should get his chance again, like you say.
All right, Shaun, now you have been named on Under Influence, who raced at Geraldton on Wednesday. You could probably know about as much as him as we do in here.
Yeah, Dan just said that if he pulled up well, he'd go around again. So I thought it was a good run there on Wednesday. Another 100 metres, he probably would have won. So, yeah, hopefully he's pulled up well and can go around again. Who
would be the best of your 4?
On paper, I'd say Odinaka, but obviously hoping that one of them can bob up in one of the big ones.
All right, fingers crossed. All the best tomorrow, Shaun.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
There's Shooter McGruddy. So that's a good push for Red Cam Man. Good to hear that he's come back and he's probably feeling as good as he ever has. He's
a very good horseman, Steve Wolf. This would be, I dare say, the crowning moment if he can get that horse to win a weight for age off no trials. And last time we saw him was midway through December, as you said, in a gold rush at 9 years of age now.
You'd love a stable full of Red Cam.
Oh, yeah, he's been a ripper. Hasn't the mare been a burster as well? So
his guts out all the time.
Yeah, he's a ripper, no doubt about that. So, look, it's a daunting assignment, but it is $1 million. And if he's well and bright, and as Shaun said, he feels enormous. So that's a good push.
Speaking about people that try their guts out all the time, Grant Williams joins us on the Sports Daily. Puff, good morning to you.
G'day, TC. G'day, Diggers.
How are you, Grant?
Yes, good. Thank you, Diggers.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Thank you for picking up.
A few days to get over our grand final episode, but other than that, it was pretty good.
It took you. I'm still getting over it. Now, not about you. Starry Heights, Kalgoorlie Cup tomorrow. Firstly, how did you walk away from the Boulder Cup?
Yeah, it wasn't. I was happy enough. Pikey was pretty confident with the way he ran and the way what he thought going into the next one. I think the best thing with him is last year's Boulder Cup run was his best, and that was the second time we took him to Kalgoorlie that prep. So I'm sort of, relying on that. Pretty happy with the horse, what he's done since then. So, yeah, we're going up there knowing that if we can sort of get a bit of luck, that we probably should be at the pointy end.
What is it about Kalgoorlie and this horse that goes so well together?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because when you bring him back here, he's just sort of gets put into the average category. But he loves Kalgoorlie, must love the travel better than I do. So, Cal's good for him. It's been good for us with him. So hopefully we can, have another good run tomorrow.
I'm sure he'll run well. He always does there in Kalgoorlie. Now, what about Yongalas Fresh in what promises to be a hot golden saddle, Grant?
Yeah, well, obviously, we've got that gate, but I think it's perfect for her digs. She goes best when she's, left alone early, and she's got that big booming finish. We're pretty happy with where she's at. Her first trial was really good. We needed to get a fair bit out of the second trial, so I asked Willie to bounce her out and put her on speed just to so we got a fair bit out of it, and we did. She probably got a touch tired just at the end, but her work since then's been pretty good. Her gallop on Wednesday morning was great, so going up there under no illusions, but knowing that if they run the race upside down, which on paper could look, it could be a chance to do that, we'll be getting home really good late.
Grant, in all of your experience, what has experience told you about horses who are having a crack at weight for age for the first time or probably haven't handled it previously, as opposed to horses who have been exposed to weight for age like this mare?
Yeah, look, I think it's definitely a different step up. She's lucky enough that, she goes in and gets a weight that, she's pretty comfortable carrying. And then obviously the boys are got to carry a little bit more. But, it's, they definitely need to have experience. She's proven that she can run good races with this sort of weight. And we've trained her for this, which is always going to be a bonus.
All right, so she ran third in the Joey first up last preparation. Do you think she's in better order this time in?
I do. She had a better break this time and come into us in a lot better order. Butchie was able to keep a little bit of weight off her this time, which is good. He was probably the first couple of preps. He was still playing her videos and all the wins that she'd been doing, and just kept feeding her. And it was hard work getting her, up to peak fitness. But this time she come back in ripping nick. We haven't had a problem with her at all during the prep, which is always, that's always a positive, and we're really happy with where she's at today.
Can Immortal Bliss win the Ron Sayers sprint?
Yeah, I'd hope so, Diggs. He sort of, he could have been unbeaten, really. He got beat by a sharp one of Adams, in on that soft track that day, and we probably pushed the button a touch early. It was a rip and ride by Clint, got over him, and then he obviously got beat the other day, but I'd actually had something on the other day, so I wasn't that happy when he got beat. And then the report come back from Lance straight away when I rang up Blue, and that, the leader just run into him 2 or 3 times in the last 100, 150, so that probably could have cost us the win there. But we go up there. Obviously, he's got to travel up, which is a unknown, but I think this will hold him in good stead for future preparations. I think it toughens him up a little bit. This is a really good grade for him. I'm not worried about the draw. I think it's probably better for him to let the speed go a little bit. Hopefully it's running a bit truer on Saturday, the track. There was lots of leaders that were winning yesterday, but there is good grass coverage on it, and hopefully they just took a bit of sting out of that fast lane that was on the inside, and we can see some horses stemming down the middle of the track, and if we can, that's probably going to suit a few of mine tomorrow.
All right, so more importantly, are you backing up again tomorrow? Are you having a bet on him?
Of course.
Okay. That's
going to go get some money off Jared today at golf, and then we'll be straight to Kalgoorlie tomorrow.
It's been a while since that happened, hasn't it?
Oh no, he was in fire.
No, it's been happening a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's got some new sticks today, so I reckon I'll get him.
You reckon you'll get him? We had 35 points. You told me last Saturday.
Oh, I'm pretty happy.
It was something like that, Diggs.
Yeah.
It was 34 actually. I must have had one too many Jimmies when I told you that, but I think you'd be too worried about cleaning these new sticks today, so I reckon I'll be able to get him.
Now, there's unconfirmed reports that you were on the range last week before you hit off the first tee. Is that right? You've never been on a range.
Blokes at 3-0. I probably was mistaken with someone else, I reckon.
No, I don't think so. I've got video of you hitting golf balls on the range. You've changed.
I'll be doing it again.
Good on you, mate. Best of luck tomorrow. Thanks for your time this morning.
Catch you later. See ya.
There's Grant Williams. Spoke to him about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was retiring from golf.
Yeah, we've all retired. He just keeps bringing you back. But no, he was up and about last Saturday. He had a good day at the golf course on the previous day, and he felt like he was back. So we'll find out today how he goes.
It's amazing how it just takes one round or one putt or one shot and you're back.
He said, I hit some balls on the range. I think that might be the recipe. I said, oh, really?
Practice.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's a good push, though, for Yonga Lass, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Good push.
Going a little bit better than last preparation. Nothing's gone wrong, so she heads there. We'll need a little bit of luck, as we spoke about yesterday, from that draw and need the pace to be on, but... other than that, in fine fettle, will stay with the Golden Saddle as well, because Shaun Casey takes a nice team to the Golden Saddle, Henchy and Twain's Angel. Shaun, a very good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, boys.
How's Twain's Angel going?
very good. Yeah, very happy with her. All systems go.
The trial, the recent one, Shaun, were you happy to see that or relieved to see that after what we saw the first time? I know she wasn't out there to break any records at that initial trial.
Yeah, in that initial trial, it was a very, very wet track that day. But to keep on our target, we had to gallop her.
Yep.
But yeah, she was very well in hand and came through that well. And the second trial being a better track, we took it to the outside and let her stride, and she, yeah. So there was it wasn't a relief. It was just that it was the next stage after that heavy weather.
All right. How did she spell? How has she come back?
Yeah, she looked. I think the way she looked on at the trials at Lark Hill, that she's spelled well and done well, and she went out on a high. She went out on a 2-win high, and everything's. We've been very lucky with her.
What about the stablemate? Was really good in that recent 1,000 metre event. That we know. He was a good winner on that occasion, and he trialled up particularly well as well, Shaun.
Yeah, he had just a pipe opener the other day at Lark Hill. Found the line really well. Again, the purpose is the race on Saturday, and he's had a perfect prep up as well. In view of dodging soft tracks and all the rest of it, and his last start win was, very, very, very good. So, yeah, he's got to be a fourth.
Who would be the best of those two in your eyes in the Golden Saddle, given Twain's Angel was proven at the 1,200?
Well, I think both of them. I would be on. I think Lucking Running's going to play the part in who goes the better, and I can't decide on that. But the two horses are in fine fettle, and they're both proven open class gallopers.
Yep. All right, good report there for both Hanchy and Twain's Angel in the Golden Saddle. The race prior, the Ron Sayers Sprint, you take Angel Undercover back to the races on the quick spin around. I imagine you were very pleased with what she was able to do last week at Belmont.
Yeah, it was a super run. Nothing really went right for her, but it was a very good run. The winner was well deserved, but she proved that she's back to not being too far away from a win.
Are you committed to running her under the 61.5 if she doesn't get a run in the Golden Saddle?
I will have to decide that tomorrow and find out what's going on. It's all been geared if she does happen to get a run in the Golden Saddle, but we'll just watch your space until tomorrow morning.
Yep, fair enough.
All right, can Snow Prince or Ain't No Other Man play a part in the finish there in the Ron Sayers? You've got two other chances in the race.
Yeah, Ain't No Other Man won the Ron Sayers 2 years ago, and he's in great nick. He'll be right there in the finish, I reckon. And Snow Prince, he ran fourth in a 1,300 a couple of weeks ago at Cal. Surprising, showed a lot of speed and led. He should be a real good chance. It's a race I'd be very proud to win again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, good luck in both of those feature races tomorrow, Shaun. I'm sure we'll catch up very shortly.
Okay, good. See you guys.
There's Shaun Casey. So positive reports both from Hanchy and Twain's Angel, and I continue to get the feeling you'll be with Hanchy over Twain's Angel.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I'm getting increasingly keen about Magnificent Andy. I really am. He's still $3.10 with Tab Touch and heads up the market. $5.50 Twain's Angel on the second line, and then on the third line at $6.50 is John Galas.
Gamble responsibly. $3.10. Magnificent Andy.
Yeah, I like him. I just think he's
best horse.
He's the best horse at the. He's still off what we witnessed last campaign. We don't know this time because he hasn't raced, but off what we saw last time, he was matching motors with some pretty good ones.
We'll be back shortly on the Sports Daily to wrap it up before the Gloucester Park preview boys get in the chair.